Hi everyone, it's Tina Newby here with Florida Luxury Realty. Welcome to another segment of Tina Talk, and I have someone really special with us today. His name is Joseph Justice. So let us welcome Joe to our show.
Hi,
Hey
Tina.
Joe, yeah, I forgot to mention to you, my daughter just think your name, your first name and last name just work so well together. And she's like, that's amazing.
I always tell people that I had nothing to do with it.
Right, so please tell us about a little bit about yourself.
My name is Joseph Justice. I'm an assistant state attorney. I currently prosecute serious crimes in the Fifth Judicial Circuit, but now I am running to be a county court judge.
Okay. So give us a little information about that. What is a county judge do?
Sure. County court is a little different than what most people picture when they imagine court from television or something like that. It's not the place where you have class actions or dramatic divorces or serious crimes. It's my favorite term to use for it is to call it's the people's court. It's really the only level of the court system where a regular person can come in and talk to a judge directly and have that actually make a difference in their case. You have the right to show up without an attorney at any court, but it's not a good idea in most. But in county court, it can be okay because we have things like small claims, ordinance violations like watering on the wrong day, things like traffic tickets. I think almost everybody has the experience of having gotten a traffic ticket at some point. I said small claims, I think already. The also lawsuits less than $30,000 that are not small claims. Landlord tenant issues come up in there, and also minor crimes, which are crimes punishable by less than a year in jail. Those are our misdemeanors. The most common ones that people think of when they think of misdemeanors are DUIs and domestic batteries. That's pretty much the jurisdiction of the county court.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your background. What made you want to become a lawyer and now wanting to become a judge?
Sure. I graduated from the University of Florida's School of Law in 2006, so I've been practicing about 14 years. I have wanted to be a lawyer since I was a little kid, and my grandmother told me, "You're going to be a lawyer." I was like, "That's it, problem solved. I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life."
There you
The
go.
reason I want to be a court judge is because when I was a young lawyer, I got hired at the state attorney's office and placed in county court because that's where they put the new attorneys. And I just fell in love with the courtroom experience. For me, the best days I can have as a lawyer are the ones spent in the courtroom, either arguing cases or handling pre-trials. You never know what's going to happen. It's almost an addictive thing. And the bonds you make with other people while you're in court are also very strong. Like the people you try cases with become like your brothers and sisters. And frankly, during all this COVID stuff, I really miss my cohorts because I'm so used to seeing them and working cases together.
All right. What would if someone looked at, the Tina Talk segment, they want to know a few things about you. Can you give us a little bit more about, what will you do once you appointed judge? What how is it affecting us? Obviously, I think that right now more than ever, everyone should vote, but give us a little bit more information about why we should vote for you versus the other person, or just give us, a little bit about your passion for justice.
Sure. I would recommend people vote for me because obviously I have an interest in the outcome. But more than that, I actually have a very broad range of experience and significantly more experience than my opponent. I have tried quite a few cases to jury trial. I have over 50 jury trials, and to give you some perspective for regular people, most lawyers don't go to trial. In fact, if you try 20 cases in your life, you'll have tried more cases than 99% of the people that ever graduate from law school. Most lawyers don't really end up in a courtroom, they end up behind desks. So I have extensive trial experience, and that's important because you do want a judge that has a lot of trial experience because when you go in front of a judge, they have to make calls or decisions right then and there sometimes. It's kind of like an umpire in baseball. So you need somebody that's been in court a lot and seen those decisions and knows those calls and how to make them because the thing you want the most from a judge is the right decision. You don't always, it's not always about winning and losing, it's that they got it right. As far as other experience, I also have run my own private law office. So I have the experience of not only just in the courtroom practice of law, but the other parts of the practice of law, like finding clients, marketing, managing time, showing up for appearances. coordinating with other attorneys. And that is, I think, a very important aspect that, again, I do not believe my opponent has, because I don't believe there's any private practice there. And people need to know, when you go into court, that the person understands that there's a demand on your time, your life, all these things that go into this, that sometimes as a state attorney, we're in court all the time. We almost take for granted that other people have schedules and clients and money to deal with, and rent for their offices. There's a lot of stuff that's weighing on people's mind when they're in court. So I think you need somebody that brings the experience from both civil and criminal, and from both private and public practice to the bench. In addition to that, I have 2 little kids and a wife. So we're raising little kids here. So I have some, day-to-day experience in, being a parent, being a spouse, that, I think it's important that a judge has some of those experiences, because you're making decisions that are going to affect people's lives. And it's, raising children and stuff is a life-changing experience. Past that, I also grew up in a blue-collar family. My parents owned auto body repair shops. So I grew up fixing cars, sweeping floors, sweating for a living. And like I said, this is the people's court, the court where regular people go. So trust me, I'm going to be somebody that understands that if you got a $280 speeding ticket and you work every day, that can really affect your ability to budget for the month. Those are experiences that I bring. I'm never going to forget that I had to sweat for a living. I'm never going to forget being a parent. I'm never going to forget private and public practice. And I think I bring a broad base to the bench.
That's great. So, obviously right now, everyone is suffering and everyone is dealing with what the unknown. Do you have any, recommendations or anything that you are living life, like, you're saying you're raising kids, anything that you learned in the past couple months that you like to share with parent who are now have to, homeschool their kids, or anything that you think that it might be helpful for them to know in their daily life right now?
I can say my number one experience with this is I've always appreciated my kids' teachers, but I don't think I ever really appreciated them until I had to decide, had to take some of this stuff home. The homeschooling has been very, very difficult. In my practice, like, we're still working because the Constitution requires that anybody charged with a crime has to go before a judge within 24 hours. So, the courts are still open. It's just in a limited capacity, and we're sort of making sure that we limit the face-to-face contact and stuff, but we have to remain open because, the law has to go on no matter what. For other experiences going with this, I think everybody's kind of in the same boat, that it's a new experience and it's been difficult. There's no way to predict it. Nobody knows how long it's going to go on. Heck, I don't even think we really know if certain things are working or don't work. You can flip through 3 channels in the news and get completely different advice.
Right.
So I think it's a big perspective on how to work from home, how to be efficient from home, how to juggle all of these activities, family, sanity, work. It's a chore right now.
It is. It is a chore. And do you see any do you think that it's going to change in how we are going to deal with court in the future? You think that it's going to go back to normal, or how will that affect, normal people like me?
I absolutely do think this is going to make some big changes in the court system. Courts are sort of a reactive branch in that we are slow to make changes. Things have to happen in the legislature for a court to do something different. But I think this has been a big kick in the pants to the overall system. And one of the big things I think we'll move towards a lot more video conferencing, because a large chunk of what we can do, we can accomplish through video conferencing. Some stuff absolutely has to be done in person, like a jury trial. But this experience, I think, is going to dramatically change the way we handle cases. I think you're going to see, I would imagine that we won't be using Zoom as we know it now. I'm sure somebody will create a legal based system for video conferencing that is set up for the special needs, because some of the stuff is very difficult to adapt to Zoom. Like when you have to have what's called a sidebar, which is where people privately approach the judge and talk to them without the audience and everybody knowing. We don't have a great way of doing that through Zoom other than through the messenger. So I imagine you're going to see more and more specialized teleconferencing. I think we're going to see less of just making people go to court unless it's essential, because I think we're going to be living with the reality of this for longer than just another month or so. I think we may see a cyclical version of this that comes back, and eventually we're all going to have to go back to living our lives and dealing with it. But I think we'll see it more minimizing in contact, and I think you're going to see the courts move toward more work from home and more video conferencing. We can certainly accomplish a lot of what's on our job description from home. So
Okay. So, I think that will benefit with, a lot of small businesses, a lot of people who doesn't have time to go down to court and then wait. So it's a long process. So I think that, with this new normal, like you said, it's going to change, and there's a lot going to be, via videos. And I think that's, in a way, it's good for people who have to go to court and get stuff done, because they don't have to wait around all day. They kind of just set up a time and said, all right, this is my time. I can just, get on video conferencing.
mhm. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big change. They've changed some of the rules where we've struggled with certain things are written in the law that they have to be signatures in ink in the presence of somebody. They've changed some of those. I think we'll see more e-verification of signatures and e-filing of legal documents, because it's easy to see somebody's face to face swearing to tell you the truth.
Hmm.
Whereas, originally that's all been something that they've been reluctant to do. So I think we'll see a lot of changes technology wise based on this.
Okay. So before we leave, is there anything that you want people to know about you, about, your campaign, what you're doing?
Sure. What would we like to be out campaigning? That's the number one thing. I would love to meet each and every person in this county and get a chance to talk to them, because I feel like if I get a chance to sit down and talk with people, that I can successfully convince them that I am the proper candidate for them to vote for. So, but we can't go out and we can't meet people, so it's very very difficult. But I would like them to know about my campaign, that I have a broad base of experience, that I am personally backed by a lot of my opponents, which is something I'm very proud of. I have a giant list of attorneys that I have faced in court who have signed up saying I am the person that they are endorsing and supporting, because I believe that I've brought a professionalism and a fairness and just a general cordial attitude toward all of my cases. I've always treated them as jobs, not personal. And that's paid off through my career because I have the support of all my opponents. So I would like people to know that I'm well supported by that group, that I have a personality and demeanor that I think fits for the bench, and that I'm very fair, and that I have been on both sides of the courtroom. So I'm not going to have a bias toward one side or the other. And I very much hope they come and vote for me on August 18th.
Yes, and it's important, right? It's important to go out there and vote, and it's important to
Absolutely.
kind of get to know your county judge, because you never know, one of these days you may having to face your county judge. But also, can people contact you if they have questions? Can I put your information at the end of the video? How would they, what do they need to do to get to know more of you? If my viewer said, I want to know more about Joe Justice, where do they have to go?
Absolutely. We have a web page for the campaign that's run by the campaign committee. That is www.justiceforjudge.com, the four being the number. We also have a Facebook page, Joe Justice for Pasco County Court Judge, and hopefully we'll be linking this video to that Facebook page. So, and I also like to let people know, and I tell everybody in my committee, I am happy to talk to every single voter that would like to ask me a question. There is a phone number on the website that I will answer, and I will do my best to answer any questions. There's also the ability to email me directly there, and again, I will do my best to answer whatever questions people contact me about. Uh, as I feel like there's no amount of time that isn't worth giving to people. So if I spend 20 or 30 minutes on the phone with somebody convincing them I'm the right candidate, they may tell 20 or 30 people that they got to speak to me for half an hour, and I'm the person that they really want to support. So I am happy to give people my time. It's what I have right now, and I am excited to talk to as many people as I possibly can.
Thank you so much, Joe, for being a part of Tina Talks. And I'm sure that people gonna want to find out more about you. So I will have all your website and your Facebook page link onto this video at the end of the video. Thank you so much once again to spend your busy time campaigning and talking to me. We appreciate it, and good luck in August, all right?
Thanks, Tina. I really appreciate the chance to come on and talk to you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.